Welcome to Japanese Classroom. This is a sequence to my first video, Japanese Counters. And through this video, I'll try to take some mysteries away from counters. The first thing most of my students say after learning about counters is that there are too many to remember. I can't help you with that, but you don't have to remember them all at once. You can remember them one at a time as you come across them. The second thing they usually say is that it is too confusing as the sounds change randomly. Now, this video is to help you understand the patterns, how the sounds change. They don't change randomly. They follow patterns. The hardest one to remember is when the counter and the number both change their sound. Examples of these are hon, pon, bon for slender objects and hiki, piki, biki for small animals. These are introduced in my first video. Have you noticed anything in common between the two? Yes, the sound of the counter changes between H, P, and B. Only counters whose normal sound starts with H changes their sound. In the first video, I mentioned the alternating pattern for this kind. Let's have a look again. 1本、2本、3本、4本、5本、6本、7本、8本、9本、10本. 4 and 5 stay on the same side, but others always alternate. In this case, 3 is 3本. 3 is the only one which can have a B sound with it. This time, let's pay attention to the sound of the number and listen if it changes the sound or not. 1本、2本、3本、4本、5本、6本、7本、8本、9本、10本. Which number have changed their sound? Yes, 1 is 1本 instead of 1本. 6 is 6本 instead of 6本. 8 is 8本 instead of 8本. 10 is 10本 instead of 10本. They all coincide when the counter is pronounced with a P sound. Then let's check how the sound changes. 1 becomes 1本. 6 becomes 6本. 8 becomes 8本. 10 becomes 10本. As if you say the first sound of the normal number and swallow the second and add pon afterwards. Let's say them again to get used to it. 1本 6本 8本 10本. This skipping or jumping sound is always written with a small tsu in hiragana. And in order to type that in English alphabet, we need to type it with a double consonant. Isn't that easy? This rule applies to all of the counters whose normal reading starts with H sound or ha, hi, hu, he, ho. That includes hi, pi, bai for cups or glasses of drink, and hiki, piki, biki for small animals. There aren't many counters of this kind, so remember them as you come across them. In hon, pon, bon counting, the culprit numbers were always 1, 6, 8, and 10. And they change their sound for counters that start with a K sound as well. That includes ko for small objects and ken for houses and shops. Ko counting is often interchangeable with tsu counting, or as tsu counting goes only up to 10, after 11 we often start using ko. But the way they change their sound stays the same. That is, the second sound of each number gets swallowed and sounds like there is a pause. 1個、6個、8個、10個. Remember that jumping or pausing sound is typed with a double consonant. So in this case, it's written with double K. Let's have a look how we count soccer balls. Maybe this time we will count up to 20. The black ones have changed their sound. 1個、2個、3個、4個、5個、6個、7個、8個、9個、10個、11個、12個、13個、14個、15個、16個、17個、18個、19個、20個. For H and K sound counters, 1, 6, 8, and 10 were the culprit numbers. However, 6 goes away from this list from now on. Numbers 1, 8, and 10 stay different for some more counters. That is, when the counter starts with an S or T sound. Examples are satsu for books, sai for age, tsu for male or letters, to for large animals. When these counters are used, the second syllable sound of numbers 1, 8, 10 becomes silent, as they did for counters starting with H and K sounds. Let's check it out by counting horses. The black ones have changed their number sound. 1頭、2頭、3頭、4頭、5頭、6頭、7頭、8頭、9頭、10頭. For the rest, like dai for machines, rin for flowers, mai for flat objects, wa for birds, counters are used with the normal 1, 2, 3 counting without any variation. Don't think you need to know all of them straight away. You can remember them one at a time as you get to know one. I hope this video helps you remember Japanese counters. Happy counting!